Alice, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and disgust, leaned against him, her body trembling, her tears flowing freely. She was terrified that he would smell Cardi on her skin, that he would sense the lingering traces of their forbidden love. But Elliot, blinded by his own desires, his senses clouded by his concern, noticed nothing. He held her close, whispering soothing words, his voice a hypnotic lullaby that threatened to lull her into a false sense of security. But as he stroked her hair, his fingers tracing the delicate curve of her neck, a dark desire stirred within him, a hunger that eclipsed his concern. He tilted her chin up, his gaze locking with hers, his amethyst eyes burning with a possessive intensity. He leaned in, his lips brushing against hers, a tender kiss that sent a shiver of both revulsion and longing through her. She wanted to pull away, to resist the allure of his touch, but a powerful force, a magic she couldn't explain, held her captive. Elliot, sensing her vulnerability, deepened the kiss, his tongue exploring the sweetness of her mouth, his hands roaming her body, igniting a fire within her that she couldn't extinguish. He lifted her onto his desk, his lips trailing down her neck, his touch leaving a trail of fire in its wake. Alice, caught in a whirlwind of conflicting emotions, wanted to stop him, to push him away, but her body betrayed her, her senses overwhelmed by his touch, her mind clouded by a potent mix of grief, confusion, and a forbidden desire she couldn't deny. She moaned softly, her fingers tangling in his hair, her body arching towards his, her own passion mirroring his with a ferocity that surprised even herself. "Elliot," she gasped, her voice a breathless plea, a desperate attempt to regain control, even as her body urged her closer. I shouldn't." Elliot, his passion growing, his control slipping, his carefully constructed facade cracking under the weight of his desire, chuckled a low, seductive sound that vibrated through her very core. "Why not, my love?" he murmured against her skin, his voice a silken temptation. "Give in to your desires. Let me show you the pleasures that await you." As their bodies were about to merge in a symphony of forbidden desire, a wave of dizziness washed over Alice, her vision blurring, her body growing heavy. She gasped, her hands clutching at Elliot's shoulders, her voice a weak plea. "Elliot, I don't feel well." Elliot, his passion momentarily forgotten, looked down at her, his amethyst eyes filled with concern. "Alice, what is it?" he asked, his voice laced with a genuine worry that surprised her. Alice, her vision fading, could only manage a choked whisper. I... And then darkness consumed her. Alice awoke to the scent of jasmine and the gentle murmur of flowing water. She opened her eyes to find herself in a lush garden, bathed in the soft glow of the moon. Audrey sat beside her, her face etched with concern. She silently prayed to the gods, hoping it was not too late to free her friend.